Welcome to A Double
and
Dice
with your host Kim.
and Jocelyn.
Pour your favorite beverage,
Pull up a comfy chair.
because we are ready to roll.
Welcome to episode 127 of A Double and Dice, and today we're making a gateway headway. I couldn't think of what to say.
I think that works. I'm with you.
Yes,
We're
gateway to.
hell.
I think that's where it goes in this episode. Unfortunately,
I mean, it seems thematic. If you haven't figured it out, we're going to talk about gate today.
that is the keyword gate.
We are continuing our keyword series. We're running out of keywords that we're going to cover.
Yeah, we got to figure out another series.
This one should get us through the end of the year, Kim.
It should, yeah, yeah, and then
Yep. So
this episode, who knows?
'Twas the night before Christmas and all through the house. Not quite yet. Our American friends still have to celebrate Thanksgiving.
The second one,
Not
the real one.
The fake one. It will be after this podcast is recorded and before it's released. So happy Thanksgiving. So we're talking about gate today. And the gate keyword is when you field a die with gate, you may take an unpurchased qualifying die from one of your cards and roll it. On a character face, you can place the unpurchased die into your prep area.
That's so awesome.
It's interesting. So how many cards with gate are there, Kim?
5.
3 unique.
3 unique. Yes. I should put this in order, shouldn't I? Ding.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
they're all from the same set.
Yep, Favorite Under Siege.
Yep, which is D&D.
Second D&D set, I think. Maybe the first one. I've lost track.
I think it's one of the older ones.
Oh, it's definitely one of the old ones. I just can't remember if Favorite Under Siege is the first one or if it was the second one.
Was that a box or was that a starter set?
No, it was like a starter with a pack with packs.
Okay.
Yep. Anyway, so yes, we have 3 characters, 5 cards that have gate.
Yeah.
And as we have just learned, gate happens when you field a die. You may take an unpurchased qualifying die from one of your cards and roll it. On a character face, you can place the unpurchased die into your prep area. So it gets you away from purchasing and it gets you away from the bag.
Yeah, because these guys' purchase costs are great, highly high.
Mm-hmm. And a long, long time ago, we might have talked about this on the podcast because we played a local event at the time, and Rob built a team with gate, and it was annoying.
So I guess we would find out from him after he listens to his episode
if he remembers it or not.
Yeah.
It was when we went to Comic Book Addiction in Whitby. You came out to Whitby that day, Kim.
I did. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember.
Way back.
Oh, I remember. Yes.
Yeah, they don't do games there anymore, but any games, not just Dice Masters. So, what's our first one?
Our first one is a Baylor. Lesser Fiend, 7 cost fist with the monster banner, so the monster affiliation. And he has the, what is that symbol again?
Evil. Chaos?
Evil? I think it's evil.
Evil.
It says Gate Baylor. When fielded, you may take another unpurchased Baylor die and roll it. If it rolls the character face, this sounds familiar, put it in the prep area. Otherwise, return it to its card.
Which is basically the definition of the gate keyword.
Yeah. So 7 costs to buy 1, and you hope you land it to get another one pretty much for free. His stats are 155, 166, 277.
So being able to get one of those, like an extra one for free, they are max 4. It's pretty good. The next one is Baylor Greater Fiend. 6 cost fist. All the other stuff's the same. Now this one says gate for fiend. So any fiend you can gate with. When fielded, you may take a different unpurchased fiend die and roll it. So different unpurchased. So it can't be
Baylor.
a Baylor, and it can't be something you've already purchased. If it rolls a character face, put it into your prep area. Otherwise, return it to your card. Same stats.
So interesting.
Hmm.
That was a 6 cost.
And then the next one doesn't actually have the gate keyword.
But it says gate in it. It says Baylor, Paragon Fiend, 6 cost fist. By the way, this is a rare. So the first one was an uncommon. Yours was a common. This one's a rare. So let's see. When Baylor is active, when you use the gate ability to add a fiend to your prep area, or you field a fiend that has the gate ability, draw a die from your bag and add it to your prep area. So it kind of goes along with the gating people, or fiends, I guess.
Yeah, but you'd have to not run that other Baylors.
No.
Right? So it's this Baylor, and then you'd have to play one of these other gate figures that we're about to get into. Characters.
And good luck pronouncing that one.
It's Aranes. Lesser Fiend, 5 cost mask, monster banner, common. Now this one has the gear icon, so it can be equipped, and is also evil, and it's Gate Aranes. When fielded, you may take another unpurchased Aranes die and roll it. If it rolls a character face, put it into your prep area. Otherwise, return it to the card.
So it's pretty much the same.
Yep. 1, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 2, 6, 4.
I'd rather pay for a Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
And the last unique one. Okay, look, I can't pronounce this. Galabrews?
I'd say Glabrazo. Glabrazo is how I do it.
Glabrizu? It could
Sure.
be a zoo. I don't know.
Could be a zoo.
Someone could correct us. Lesser Fiend, 5 cost, monster affiliated.
Mask.
Yes, these are masks. Your last one was a mask as well. Also has the evil icon.
Yep.
Gate Glab. We'll call him Glab. When fielded, you may take another unpurchased Glab die and roll it. If it rolls a character face, put in your prep area. Otherwise, return it to its card. So every single one of these is pretty much the keyword written out.
Stats?
133 244 256.
Okay. So let's look and see if there are other fiends. So when we look at fiend, there are a total of 20.
Oh, there's a lot.
But one of them is from Yu-Gi-Oh! And it says it's a fiendish fighter. So I think that one would be excluded.
Yeah.
So 19 characters that have fiend in the name, which include Battle for Faerun figures, Faerun Under Siege figures, and 2 Yu-Gi-Ohs that are called fiends. So they would probably
count. Like,
count, yeah.
The same way.
But fiendish fighter I don't think would count.
Probably wouldn't.
No. So a total of 19 cards if you were using the rare Baylor, Paragon Fiend. While Baylor is active, when you use the gate ability to add a fiend, draw a die from your bag and prep it.
Yeah, but he wouldn't work with the Yu-Gi-Oh ones. When you use a gate ability to add a fiend.
Or you field the feed that has a gate ability. Oh, so you're stuck with just the ones that we just talked about.
That we just talked about, yeah.
Hang on. Wasn't there something that said... Did I lose my mind? Is it possible? Probably.
Don't you always lose your mind?
Yes. No, it's the uncommon. When fielded, you may take a different unpurchased fiend die and roll it. So if you're playing the uncommon, then you have access to the total of 19 fiends. 18, because that one would not be included.
Yeah, so you have a Hellhound, which you can use. A Pit
Oh, the Hellhound. I'm pretty sure Rob was using that one.
Pit Fiend, and I guess if they count with the Yu-Gi-Oh, be a Sangan.
Sangan?
Yeah, Sagan?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. I'm butchering all the names today.
But yeah, so there's a lot more access. So I feel like if you're going into fiends, if fiends is the plan, you run the uncommon Baylor and then pick out your fiends that go with it.
Yeah. Your team won't hit 8, but...
No.
But
it could be a sub-theme, right? Because if you go with so let's say you run the Baylor Fiend. the uncommon, right? If you run Glabrezo Minion Fiend, you get, while Glabrezo is active, your Fiend dice cost 1 less to purchase. Or if you run Apprentice Fiend, your Fiend dice cannot be damaged except by combat damage. So that's pretty cool. So you can take some Fiends that don't have Gate, but because they have Fiend, you can add them to the team and get the Fiend ability to go off. Right? Like you said, Hellhound.
Yeah.
Hellhound has a when Hellhound attacks, deal 1 damage to target character or opponent. When Hellhound attacks, target character dice can't block this turn. While Hellhound is active, your Fiend dice cost 1 less to purchase and 1 less to field.
And a blank one. And a blank Fiend.
A blank Fiend for 2 you don't need to get for free.
Pit Fiend.
Yeah, the Pit Fiend, your Fiends cost 2 less to purchase after you field your first Pit Fiend each turn. Or 2 less to field. Or move a NPC from your reserve to your use pile to draw 3 dice. That's kind of cool. Roll any evil character dice drawn this way. Place the other dice in your use pile. Helps you cycle your bag.
So yeah. I could see how this can be kind of annoying. I mean, you're pretty much getting Fiends everywhere.
All the Fiends. It would be a good sub theme on your build for sure. Right? There's definitely some stuff.
Really win with it? I don't know. If you just purely played it, but
stats are good.
True. Put some stuff against it, like Overcrush or something.
Yeah.
With those big guys or something like that.
Some decent stats in there, and the fielding costs aren't too bad.
No.
So that's not. Gate.
The gateway.
Do we have anything else to say about the gateway, Kim?
Not really, but these guys are scary looking. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Definitely the gateway to hell.
There we go.
And that's our episode, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. See you later on our gateway out.
No. We have other things to talk about, Kim. We have whole other segments.
Right, because our 5 minute of Dice Masters is done.
That was a quick one, in fairness.
Yes, that was a quick one. Yes.
So where do we want to go?
We can dive into the dice bag.
Let's do it. So, dice bag this week. We heard from some folks on the Discord, and I wanted to put a shout out to Andy at AndyMay6112. He joined in the conversation on the Discord.
He started the conversation.
He did. Usually Andy used to email us, and now he's getting into the Discord. So Andy said, I think you'll find the first appearances of both Underdog and Fast have come in AVX. And he shared some screenshots of some of the characters. There's a Thing.
Yep.
And there's a Hawkeye.
Yes.
And Collector Rob jumped in and said, you beat me to it. And Shadow jumped in because one of the screenshots that Andy sent was the wrong card. So
wrong Hawkeye. Yeah.
Wrong Hawkeye. But solid observation. And then he sent the correct one, which was Robin Hood. When assigning damage in an attack step, Hawkeye assigns and resolves his damage before opposing characters, which is definitely the first appearance of Fast. Andy continued that White Tiger Global was great for making the opponent feel the sidekick so that you could gain Underdog. And that the Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dark Phoenix is great too. Double bonus, a purchase discount plus Underdog. It's a good partnership. Then our friend Jackalope Spam Nick popped in and said, technically they don't have the keyword though, and we're not given an errata to have it. Minor detail, but Taskmaster is sad about that. Because there's a Taskmaster that copies all keywords, right?
Oh.
Do you want to look that up?
The Taskmaster? Yeah. Taskmaster.
We knew what you meant.
Master? Yes, I can look that up.
Nick said, I think the key to Underdog isn't forcing the opponent to field stuff, but instead finding a way to have less than them through things like the Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dark Phoenix Globals, which I think is a good combination. Did you find Taskmaster?
Yes, so this is the Taskmaster from Civil War set. Photographic Reflexes. He's a 6 cost. And it says, while Taskmaster, oh my gosh, I keep saying Taskmaster. Taskmaster is active. He gains the keyword abilities of each other character in the field zone. Keywords are written in bold.
Yeah.
Field zone, that means your opponent.
As well.
as
Yep.
well.
And then Silver Sable or Sneaky Pete. Let's pull those up, Kim. Because Collector Rob said, I really like the idea of running Silver Sable or Sneaky Pete with Emma Frost, Mental Mistress, or Meteorite, Dr. Carla Soffen. Maybe adding in the Spider-Gwen Global 2 for quick recycling. So you've got Silver Sable?
Silver Sable, which I'm assuming he means the one that has the underdog keyword on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mercenary. Silver underdog is Silver Sable is unblockable.
Yeah.
And his stats are 3-1-4-2-4-4. So I mean you can still beef it up with some stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Tables and stuff. Sneaky Pete
Yep.
was a promo card.
Mm-hmm.
Who had the underdog ability. If Spider-Man is attacking alone, he is unblockable.
Yeah.
So a 3-3-4-4-5-5, so a little better.
Yeah. The Emma Frost Mental Mistress was from X-Men Forever. While Emma Frost is active, when an opponent declares a character die as an attacker or blocker, they may not attack with any other copies of that die this turn, including psychic dice. So that's kind of a cool combo. Or the Meteorite. The Meteorite, if I remember correctly, was from the Team Pack, maybe? No, Justice League. Not Justice League. Justice League Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Flip card. On the one side, it's when fielded, your character dice get +1 attack this turn. On the other side, it says, while Meteorite is active, your opponent cannot attack with more than 2 character dice. Interesting combo.
Yeah. I wonder if that actually worked on somebody's team.
Yeah. And then the Spider-Gwen Global. I think it allows you to move.
That was a recent Gwen, right?
Yeah. So if a target die deals combat damage to your opponent, put it in your bag instead of the use pile.
Mm.
Yeah. It was from Secret Wars. And then Nick chimed in that that's not a bad idea. Put out stuff that prevents them from going wide. The trouble with Underdog is it can't be your main plan since your opponent can easily play around it. They don't have to field a wide board, and it's hard to make them. That's why you'll need a second game plan if they don't go wide. So maybe even the front line to leverage them into fielding blockers. It'd work well enough with Silver Sable or other unblockable too. So it's good combos. I liked that conversation.
I don't remember even looking at a Silver Sable.
No. Did we? We must have read it.
He even existed.
Because it has the Underdog, right?
Did we say him in it? Yeah, I guess we would have. I just don't remember saying him for some reason.
No, I don't either.
You didn't miss that one, did you? I'm curious now. I'm going to look up Underdog again. I'm pretty sure
that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, go by
No,
that.
it's there. We must have read it.
Yeah, I just don't remember.
34
and
cards.
There's only one card, so maybe
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, it's a woman? I didn't even know that either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man, though, I have 0 things from that set, so.
Female character in Dice Masters coming up, Silver Sable.
We haven't done one of those in a while.
We have not.
Right.
The next piece of our feedback from Discord came in a private message that I got from our friend Oh No. And Oh No said, I listened to the podcast weirdly and almost counterintuitively. I would say that the best expansion for Sagrada is the 5 to 6 player one, even if it's just for 2 players to play. It offers more of everything from the base game. The 3 others reinvent the wheel too much with weird dice. It gets too fiddly. The expansions came out 2, 3, and 5 years later, so you can definitely get away with just the base game for a while. If you are still resisting the peer pressure to buy it, I'm sure this doesn't help.
Peer pressure.
So I kind of want to buy it, but I also kind of don't mind the proxying it that we did when we played with Ono and Sherry online. And I just purchased this past weekend when I was on my traveling adventures. I purchased some translucent yellow dice with white pips. So they will go with my other translucent dice. So I just need some translucent pink or purple ones.
You couldn't find those.
They didn't have them at the store that I was at.
I'm sure they exist.
I found them when I was in other travels, because we haven't gotten to the traveling section yet. But at that store, they were locked up.
Oh.
So.
What does that mean? People steal it?
I don't know. It's a weird place.
Is it Chessex that make them?
It was Chessex, yeah. Just T6s. So, do we want to go to Traveling Adventures next? Or
Since
do we
you're on it, might as well.
Sure.
That's it for the dice bag.
That is it for the dice bag. So, I've had 2 traveling adventures in the last week. I had a work trip up to Ottawa. So I had to go up I was just up there for a little over, maybe not even 24 hours, just overnight. To finish up, I just had a region realignment at work. So Ottawa will no longer be part of my district anymore. So I won't be going up there anymore. It was my last trip. It was kind of sad. But I drove up on the Monday and I popped over to the Rideau Center, which is the shopping mall there. And I went into, I think it's called Imaginaire or Imaginarium or something like that, which is the game store.
I know that store. Yep. Board game store.
Yeah. So anyway, I was looking for dice because I wanted some other dice, and I found the Chessex dice upstairs, but all the Chessex dice were locked in cabinets, and you needed someone to unlock them for you. And they were marginally too expensive. They were charging just a little bit too much money. I would have bought them anyway because I like dice that are pretty, and I'm looking for those translucent pinky ones with white pips.
Almost have a rainbow set.
That's the plan. But I didn't want to wait to find a person, so. So I did my trip. I came home, and then I went on another trip to Montreal this past weekend. So last minute, this ties in with the playmat. Last minute, my friend Emily, Canadian national 2-time HeroClix champion, asked me if I wanted to go on a last minute road trip to the HeroClix Rock Provincials in Quebec. So we went down on Saturday. So we stopped in Kingston for lunch, took some pictures. It was a nice day for a drive. Got to Montreal late afternoon. Checked into our hotel. We had a lot of adventures in Montreal. But we did finally eventually.
Hear them is the question.
Nothing was bad. It was just like crazy stuff. The weirdest things were happening to us. But anyway, we finally found a restaurant. We were having trouble finding a restaurant that we wanted to go to. As far as like eating goes, I'm like sort of picky, but Emily's a little bit more picky than I am. She likes her food to be pretty
the same.
I don't want to say basic. It's the wrong word, but consistent, neutral. She doesn't like spicy. She
doesn't like change.
She likes things that are the things that she likes. So anyway, we found this place that should have had a lot of options, but it turned out it was one of those places where like you go to the Cineplex and there's all the restaurants around it. And everybody goes there because it's Saturday night and it's busy. Right. And we couldn't find parking and we're like, screw this. So then we tried to find another restaurant and it was in a strip mall. It was super weird. And we're like, no, this doesn't have a good vibe.
There's no pubs in this place.
So we were in Laval. So Laval is like a suburb of Montreal because we were staying closer to Saint Eustache where the tournament was going to be on the next day. I didn't want to have to commute from like downtown Montreal, like 40 minutes or almost an hour to get there, depending on traffic. I wanted to have a quick like checkout in the morning and get there right away. So we were kind of near one of the airports and the train station and the bus stop and the Bell Center. And anyway, it was just a weird spot to be in. So anyway, I found this other restaurant. I'm like, well, this place looks good. It gets good reviews. And we pull up and I'm like, where did I take us this time? This is the third place we've been. It's a restaurant in a different hotel than the one we were staying in.
You were going back to your hotel?
No, we were going to a restaurant. But when I got there, the restaurant was in a hotel.
Okay.
But not the hotel we were staying in.
Okay.
And it was a hotel I looked at, but the price was too expensive. So we went in, we had a very lovely meal. We had a cocktail each and we got pizzas. So we had leftovers for the next day for lunch and we got dessert and we had a great time. But anyway, so getting the restaurant was kind of complicated. While we were at the restaurant, this girl was on a date and the poor girl, she started throwing up at the table.
Oh, man.
I don't know if she had too much to drink or whatever. Like, she was
Oh.
quiet about it, but she
Yeah.
was like very sick, and they brought her a little bucket and they made her some space and whatever. We're like, well, we're glad we're leaving now. We hope she's okay. I don't know if she just had too much to drink or what was going on. So then from there, we decided to go get bagels because you know, Kim, that Montreal bagels are the best bagels.
Mhm.
So we drove down to Fairmont Bagel because Fairmont Bagel,
This is after eating?
yeah, it's like 9:30 at night at this point.
It's still open?
It's open 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Fairmont Bagel was the first bagel in space. They're open 24 hours a day. The wood-fired oven where they cook the bagels is constantly running. It is this little tiny spot, sort of downtownish Montreal. So we pulled up. It was almost 10 o'clock at night. We went in. So Emily had never been there before. So we went in and I ordered, I can't remember how many bagels I got. Bagels for me, bagels for Rob. And then she got some bagels and we packed those up into the car. And they were like the sesame seed ones, which is the classic Montreal style. Like they were still warm from the oven.
Huh.
So they always pack everything in paper until it cools down, but they give you plastic so that you can put it in plastic to store it. So when we got back to the hotel, we put it in plastic. But so anyway, so we leave and we're turning up the street to get to the highway. And then out of nowhere, I swear, 15 police cars come up the street. So like I do what I always do when I see a police car, which is I pull over to the right. It's a one-way street. So one of the cars goes past me and then the next one is behind me with his lights on. I'm like, are you pulling me over? So I'm like pulled over and then he like dekes around me. But they're not like going anywhere. They're just like going left and right in this lanes and like blocking traffic and lights and sirens and everything. And then the Montreal people who are driving just start like driving around them.
Interesting.
And they keep coming from all kinds of different, like from behind us. Anyway, so eventually we got off of that street and we got our way to the hotel, like to the highway and back to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did our
you
turn.
Find out what it was?
No idea.
Oh, interesting.
No idea whatsoever. We went back to the hotel, and then the next morning we got up and we headed out to St. Eustache and we did our HeroClix tournament. And then we drove home yesterday night, Sunday night. We left just after 5 p.m. I drove Emily all the way home. She lives like East End, Toronto, which is past my house, but I drove her out that way just because it was late. I didn't want to put her like 90 minutes on transit to get her home because transit out here is kind of complicated. So I drove her to her house and then I came back and I got home at like 11:10 or something. So I made a really good time. It was like 6 hours. We only stopped once to use the bathroom and get gas on the way back. It was kind of like a head down and get your butt here. So
I have a bagel question.
yes.
Do they only sell bagels or can you get like sandwiches?
So they sell bagels and then you can buy like cream cheese.
Okay.
And like jams and stuff, but they don't make sandwiches. It's literally just
So
bagels.
Okay.
Bagels and accoutrement, which is like stuff you put on bagels.
Okay. That they make?
No, they
Is
bring it
only-
in.
Okay.
Yeah. They bring it in from other French companies.
Gotcha.
So anyway, so I brought the bagels home. It was late last night, so I didn't cut them. Because what I do is I always cut them and then freeze them. So then you can just grab a half or a full one and put it directly in the toaster.
Mm-hmm.
So I cut them all this morning and froze them. But I did have one for lunch today.
Nice.
They are the best bagels. So anyway, I now have fresh-ish Montreal bagels in my freezer. So that's exciting. And yeah, the drive home was uneventful. But yeah, there was some crazy stuff. I also picked up beer because there's this beer that we came across when we were there in the summer. It's a little microbrewery called Archibald that's right near St. Eustache, Quebec. And so we picked up, I picked up some of their Belgian wheat for the fridge.
That sounds familiar, that beer.
Yeah, I think I probably talked about it in the summer. So I brought back beer and I brought back bagels.
Nice.
Have you had any adventures in traveling, Kim?
I don't travel anywhere.
You never know.
people travel past me sometimes, but they no, I haven't. Oh my gosh, I haven't really been anywhere in a long time.
Yeah. All right. Well, then let's move over to the playmat. Why don't you tell me about what you've played, Kim?
Oh, so our Saturday night board game, we played a game called Pedal to the Metal. So it's a racing game. So you kind of have to like control your car going around corners by playing cards and things like that. Getting yourself in right gear and stuff like that. I spun out twice because I wasn't going around the corners very well. So you can spin out and do all these things and it puts you kind of back, right? So a fun racing game, and I've tried out a few, and this is one of the best racing games. Easy to proxy, so we were able to proxy the cards because there's not much cards in your deck. And yeah, we had 4 people playing, so that was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it probably for my adventures of board gaming. I mean, we got a new game called Flip 7. Dave had played it; he likes it. He was in Minneapolis last week.
Oh yeah.
For work, and he picked it up there because he can't find it here. So I haven't been able to play it yet. It's a card game. We tried, and it has to be 3 players, so we tried to get Noah to play it, and he didn't want to. So he wanted to, and then didn't want to. So
of course not.
Yeah, of course. That's how it always works. His he changes his mind every minute. But yeah, I really want to try to get back into some like solo games, but it's finding the time. Like the evenings now, I have the time, but by the time like your night's done, you're kind of tired. So I don't want to walk all the way down to the basement. You know what I mean? I'd rather just go in my bed. So, but I would really like to try to get some of these back, like solo games on the table. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see over the Christmas break if I can get some more gaming in.
Yeah, and you messaged to see if we could set up another Saturday game day. Hopefully we can fit one in.
Yep.
So we will give it a try. Well, I played HeroClix. So unlike last time where I hadn't played any HeroClix, I played HeroClix a couple of times. So I had my Thursday night HeroClix event twice since we last played. We've been practicing for our Silver Age tournament, because there is a Silver Age HeroClix tournament happening in Ontario this weekend at the local store at the 3D shop. So after this recorded, before it comes out.
Is that an official tournament or
official tournament? Yeah, it's called the Realms Open Championship Provincials. In the US, they call them states, but in Ontario or in Canada, they're provincials, which is what we played in last weekend in Quebec. Okay. So we played in the Quebec provincials. Now we're playing in the Ontario provincials. So I'm still trying to decide what team I want to play. There is a team that is like super broken. I'm really hoping they ban it, but I don't think they'll ban it in time for Saturday. I don't want to play it, so I'm going to play something else. I like the team that I
counter it. Maybe something to counter
it. So the thing is, if you counter it, you might not be able to beat other teams. So anyway, So speaking of that, so this past Saturday, when I went to Quebec, I played in the Quebec provincials. So I played a HeroClix team there, a competitive silver team. It was fun. I had a couple of things that went wrong. So in my second game, I played, I made a critical error on my second turn. I didn't heal my person when I should have healed them. I missed some of my abilities, which really turned things around. And then I also learned that one of the powers that I was using it incorrectly in my opponent's favor, not in mine. So I didn't cheat. I didn't make it harder for other people. I made it harder on myself. I should have had other options to reduce damage and things like that. So, so I now know how the team works a little bit better, because Silver Age has a lot of figures in it, a lot of abilities that I don't know, because it goes back to way before I started playing HeroClix. So there's a lot of like variety there. So anyway, I'm playing a fun team. I liked it. I had a good time, even though I didn't do particularly well. And my score was underreported. My last round opponent accidentally reported the score 125 points late. I should have had 415 points, but my score only showed 290. It would have made absolutely no difference in the standings because no, because the next person up had 420 points. So I still would have been 5 points below them. If I had done better in my second round, if I had played my team correctly, then it could have been very different. And my first round, it turns out I was actually tied going into last action, and I KO'd their figure, but their figure had an ability called Mystics, which deals me 1 damage, and I was on my last click. So by dying, I gave them 300 points.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up losing. But that's fine. The person that I played there, Benoit, he ended up going into the top 2. So congrats to him, along with our friend Dan Smith from Ottawa, who ended up eventually winning the tournament. Second tournament in a row. He went down to New Hampshire last weekend, like the weekend before, and he won the New Hampshire states. So he's won New Hampshire and he's won Quebec. So good for him. But yeah, so it was a fun weekend. Got to play some HeroClix there, and then my 2 practice games, or my 2 nights of practice games at the local store in the 2 weeks since we were last recorded. We also had 1 day of our Betrayal Legacy game. So we moved up to the next timeline. I did not die in this one, but I didn't win. And I went to a Star Wars Unlimited draft as well, and we drafted some Star Wars cards. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to.
At least you get your gaming in.
I've been getting my gaming in. The Saturday morning stuff is helping a lot. So we didn't have Saturday morning last weekend because I went to Montreal, and we won't have Saturday morning this weekend because we have our Ontario provincials, but it is nice to get on the Discord and play with our friends from Scotland and England.
Cool.
So yeah, so Kim, you got to catch up.
I'm going to try, but I'm a little lazy sometimes. So, especially during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just tired, right, from the day. So
during the week is hard. Rob and I also recorded a few HeroClix games for the channel for Dice Station Zebra. We are between sets right now, so Masters of Time is all completed, and Black Panther hasn't come out yet because it was delayed. So we've been playing some constructed games with Silver, and we've been streaming them on our Twitch channel, and then Rob clips them and puts them up on YouTube after the fact. So we've got a few Silver games in the hopper, and we might try and get another one in this week so that we can get another game ready to go before Black Panther comes out, because Black Panther is now scheduled to come out on November 27th. So we should...
Thanksgiving weekend.
No, Thanksgiving's this weekend.
No, next weekend.
American Thanksgiving is the 22nd.
No.
21st.
Nope.
No?
Nope. 28th.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Look it up.
Oh, look at that. It is. I thought it was this weekend. So anyway, so yes, November 27th is when it's scheduled to come out. So hopefully on December 1st, we will have a release event. And also hopefully we will have our product so we can start getting our sealed games recorded. So
I was going to say something I forgot.
American Thanksgiving?
No.
Board gaming?
I forgot.
Tired through the week?
Oh, well, we never talk about, we play DCC practically every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a game we play together.
We do, which is awesome. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Remember, I forced you to talk about it.
Yeah, you did.
So yeah, we played last weekend, and I think we played the weekend before. I think we did 2 in a row.
Yeah. Fun times.
So, we're continuing our adventure of trying to find the mummy bride.
Neutral, aka also known as chaotic. I always love to play chaotic, even though I don't put myself as a chaotic person.
You should put yourself as a chaotic person.
Always go with chaotic, right? Always.
Well, I mean, I think chaotic in the game is also sort of like evil. And you're not evil. You're like chaotic for the greater good.
Yes, I do chaotic things. Not bad chaotic things, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else. This one's a little shorter than the last couple, but that's okay.
Gate was short.
Gate was short, but that's okay. So yeah, so we've got this episode coming out. 1, 2 more this year after this.
Maybe a Christmas episode in there.
Maybe.
Will we sing again?
Who knows? Anything could happen, but we are going to maybe consider more keywords. We're going to also consider maybe doing a female character in Dice Masters, because we haven't done one of those in a while. And if anyone else has anything they'd want to share, let us know.
And this is where you can reach us.
At all the usual places. So you can find us at Triple D Podcast at dm-north.com to send us an old-fashioned email. You can go to our website at dm-north.com to leave us a comment on our episode post. You can find us on all the socials, which is Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, X. I think we're on even Blue Sky now.
I don't even know what that is.
Possibly. As dmNorthTV. And you can find us on Discord. Join our dmNorthTV Discord channel, or you can @ us on Discord. Kim is at SuperK. I am at JoStitch, JOCE Stitch. And of course, you can find our videos on YouTube, youtube.com/dmNorthTV, or live streams on twitch.tv/dmNorthTV. So until next time, on a double and dice.